So in the beginning, for me, it was a bit of a seesaw between being intimidated and being inspired and energized. And in the end, inspiration won. And I feel as though the reason why I'm saying that is because I feel like I'm with artists who really are attuned and take their craft so seriously, and you can feel it even in the space, even before we start moving. And it's really, so it's like a light bulb to not have to pay attention to anything else but this cocoon that we've created.
You can practice at home, but there's something about having someone in the space offer you invitations, offer you questions in ways that you could ask yourself at home, but it doesn't land the same. And the outcomes, not in product, but in experience, certainly not the same.
At a certain point, you might notice here you are, kind of on your own in the space, or you suddenly want it. You call the attention, like me. Everyone stops and looks. I'm doing it already. And you either talk or move while you're being watched.
And what Walker's workshop did was make you pause and strip everything down. So like from the start to remember Ngomane, like the exercise that we did with Zimba, where you had to like just listen to the body. So what I'm taking back to my practice is, who am I? How do I take out other people's voices and remember my why when I started art, when I got into the industry, when I was like, you know what, I want to go study and be a theater maker or like an actor, you know? And what was my voice then?
What I'm gathering and what I really feel equipped with because of these past 3 days is listening to, coming from a movement and physical theater background and training, is having the ability, the skill, and the necessity to listen to my body more, listening to other bodies within the space. And even when you are in a facilitating position, or whether it be as a director, or whether it be as a choreographer or whatever, listening to the space as well, listening to what is being offered from the space. I really, that's just been the main thing that's been ringing in my head these past 3 days that I can't wait to take back and apply to my own practices, is just the beauty that comes with listening.
We can create from nothing, you know, like just a simple finger movement, you know, and you're like, oh, where's it going? Oh, we can bear snake. Oh, I can, you know, and the story can come out from that, like back to basics.
What I'm taking back to my practice is a very profound thing that Lucia said, and it stuck with me. She said, creativity is always there. You just need to create the right circumstances. And I think that's what this workshop does, or moments like these. That's what it does, because it creates the right environment to express yourself. But like, if I create the right circumstances, if I just get in the space and listen to what the space is saying to me and what the bodies are saying to me, then I'm able to express myself.
The thing that I've taken the most away from is how to puzzle all the things together. That sometimes it's okay for one thing to be that in the moment. For example, right now we're focused on just a finger, like you said, and then how the many bits come together. Like, instead of it being many patterns and many things, you can focus and hone in, and then you can also spread out. So I think really, in its essence, the idea of composition, and because of my many interests and the many things that I work on, how to bring all those ideas and ways of thinking and puzzle pieces into one thing, but also spread them out.
Coming from the academic background and being in an institution, it's very theoretical. It's these are the people that you should be listening to. These are the people you should be reading. And what I've discovered is other ways of expanding one's knowledge. For a simple game like the name game, I know a certain version of it, but now I've learned another version that has expanded my thought of, why can't I do this with learners? Why can't I do this with fellow collaborators? So that they can also take like these skills with them, because I think the great thing about one learning is that you don't hold that learning for yourself. It's about how do you pass it on to someone else so that it can keep on growing. I think that for me is why I enjoyed this process. What else can be done? How do we expand? How do we reflect? How can we make sure that our journeys don't stop with us?
Being a teacher, you never stop learning. You need to continue learning and to grow so that you do not pour from an empty cup. You need to constantly refill so that when you pour into your students, that you have something to actually give out. So I'm very grateful for this opportunity to be able to fill my cup so I can go back to my students and just really give them this amazing information that I've learned.
This moment has been very important for that in building also the methodologies of making and the ways of making, again, as an extension of the SO practice, where we've had so many different teachers come in and offer so many different ways of thinking about a thing and in approaching a thing and also approaching yourself. And I think that's what this specific workshop has offered, but I think that's what this setup, the structure does offer, is ways to build new methodologies, to add to your own repertoire, which I think then is bound to create beautiful and like expansive works. I think from everyone in the space, you watch everyone's individual styles and then you see how they blend and they begin to melt into the people next to them and into the teacher's offering. So yeah, it's a great way of building research and archive for the South, but also for, I think, South African arts making as a whole.